Why does a pilot cross the... Why does a pilot... Why does a pilot cross the road?
For the love of God, make him stop!
Because of because of airplane peanuts. Airplane peanuts, am I right, folks?
Please, no more! You're embarrassing my child!
Another tough crowd. Okay, we'll get on to the show. So, welcome everybody to the 2020 BIRB Awards. BIRB. This is the most prestigious music award show in history. And on today's video, going to be doing the top 10 albums that I heard in 2020. And holy crap, huge disclaimer because you're not going to agree with this list. But that's okay because you'll discover some new music. So all year, I grinded my ass off to listen to as much music as I can from different genres. Metalcore, deathcore, prog, alternative metal, new metal. It's not a lot, actually. I feel like I can listen to more. But to me, that's a lot. So there's going to be a good variety on this list. But these are the best of the best in those genres, in my opinion. And you know what? I think we got to get to number 10. So that's enough chit chat, so let's fucking do it. Okay, number 10 is the most surprising album of the year for me. This is a band that I've had on my radar. I enjoyed some of their songs, but this new album absolutely floored me. When I did my album reaction / review, I was thoroughly impressed that there was not one bad song. You know, each song had unique textures and electronic elements to it. And that goes to Kingdom of Giants' Passenger.
I close my eyes, recross my fingers, try to fight or fly.
Alright, Kingdom of Giants' Passenger is one of the best metalcore albums of the year because it's pushing the genre forward of what it can be. You know, it brings in so many electronic influences like Linkin Park, but it's very cyberpunk feeling as well, so it's new and fresh, but it's done so well and elegantly. The more you pay attention to the music, the more you get rewarded with all the details in the music. It's a very well detailed album. Each song is good in its own right. I was thoroughly impressed with Kingdom of Giants' Passenger. Number 9 goes to the heavy metal album of the year. Holy crap, I was so impressed with this album. Not one bad song, only 10 songs long, so it's short and to the point. And it has a fantastic album closer. One of the best album closers of the year, and that goes to Orbit Culture, Amnesia. So for me personally, I'm not big on Metallica. I was never into Metallica, but these guys are essentially what I wish Metallica was. It's a lot heavier, it's a lot more fast-paced, but the thing is, it never lets go of the energy and the pacing. It's always non-stop in your face, and it's so epic and grand and heavy, and each song is good, and that's another feat. I was so impressed with Orbit Culture this year, and that's why they gotta be number 9. Okay, number 8 is the band that I discovered this year because of you guys. So thank you so much, all the YouTubers that comment on my videos suggesting all these great bands. Thank you. I was thoroughly impressed with this album because it mixes progressive metal, post-hardcore, and metalcore all together, but it's so shreddy, so many memorable hooks and melodies. It's such a fantastic album, and that goes to Abomination, Passion the Heist 2.
Sit back and watch the world burn around you. Surpassing horizons is how we conduct.
Another reason why this album is so good too is because it follows a grand story. This is a continuation from their previous album, which I think is such a neat idea. You know, it's got the slow song, but it's got a lot of fast, shreddy songs. It's got features from Era, Shadow of Intent, and if you haven't checked out these guys, seriously check them out. Next one comes from the progressive metal juggernauts. You know, these guys always put out consistently good albums, but holy crap, I think this is one of the best albums that they've ever written, if not the best album that these guys have ever done. And that goes to Haken Virus. Haken Virus is such a monumental progressive metal album. Holy crap, they bring in so many different sounds, like influences from Radiohead to Dream Theater, etc. And each song is so good. There's a 6-part song called The Messiah Complex that all flows as one song, but there's so many surprising elements, so many different time signatures. So you gotta check them out. If you're into Dream Theater, seriously check out Haken. Alright, next up is a band that I discovered this year, one of the biggest bands on this list in terms of popularity, and I was completely shocked to how out there they are for being, you know, as popular as they are. And that goes to Code Orange Underneath. holy crap, these guys are making hardcore popular, but also they're making it new and unique as well. So I totally give them credit where it's due for, you know, not sticking to just mainstream sound, even though they have radio rock songs, even though they're still good. But the rest of the album is just like hardcore energy, lots of glitchy, weird sounds that they introduce to their music. It's very out there, and I give props to Code Orange for being so different as they are. What a fantastic album. I was really blown away by this album. Number 5 goes to one of my favorite bands of all time. These guys always put out consistently good albums, but they always evolve their sound slightly. It's never too much where it's drastic, but you know they're challenging themselves as musicians. But not only that, the music evolves and they never do anything what other bands are doing. You know, when they were doing breakdowns, they stopped doing breakdowns because every other band was doing that. These guys are in their own lane, and that's another reason why I love them so much. And that is Protest Hero Palimpsest. This album's not for everyone, but this band does not put out bad records. The riffs are flowing, frantic, all over the place. The drumming is so intense, so intricate. The vocals are soaring, so many beautiful hooks and melodies, so many angry screams from Rhodey. Each song has unique moments in it. The lyrics are captivating as well. This album is another solid effort from Protest the Hero. It's not my favorite album that they've ever done. That goes to Kaziah Fortress, but this is still a fantastic album. They're not core anymore. They stopped doing metalcore and stuff. No more breakdowns and stuff like that, so it doesn't appeal to everyone who's watching. But if you want to hear some fantastic like progressive metal with punk, it's very unique and like post-hardcore, I guess. Check it out, man. Number 4 goes to the biggest band on this list. You know, these guys are always constantly evolving their sound, doing drastic changes, but somehow making it work. I totally respect them for that. But this new album, which is an EP, now you probably know what it is, has so much replay value, and that is Bring Me the Horizon, Post-Human Survival Horror. So technically, yeah, it's an EP, but it's 9 songs long, so I consider it an album. But yeah, there's not one bad song. Like, you can pick it up and go and put on track 3 or put on track 1, whatever, Parasite Eve or Dear Diary. Like, every song is good. That's the reason why it's number 4. It's just fun, and it's a nice callback to the old fans who love the heavy moments. You know, Bring Me the Horizon is just such a consistently good band, and they deserve to be high up on my list. Okay, number 3 goes to a band that I was surprised by how much I really enjoyed this album. You know, they're one of the biggest bands in metal, and I've been sleeping on them for as long as I have. And shame on me, because their new album is so good. It's perfect for night driving. When I put this on in the car when I was driving at night, holy crap, that put me in a different experience. Now anytime I'm night driving, I put this CD on and I get that same experience, and these guys put you in a trance. That goes to Deftones' Ohms. So this album is slow paced, you know, but if you're a Deftones fan, then you're going to agree with me. But to others who want just like intense, fast paced music, you're not going to find it here. But if you just want nice, chill out music with a lot of soundscapes, ethereal sounds, a lot of atmosphere, but then it goes heavy and emotional as well, Deftones always delivers, and that's why Ohms is such a fantastic record. The second half of this album is so good, man. First half is good, but the second half totally floors me, and I get in a trance listening to this music. Number 2 goes to the most underrated band on this list. It's a real shame. These guys used to be really like heavy and hardcore, very similar to bands like Dillinger Escape Plan, Converge, very in your face. They slowed down big time on the new album. I reacted to 2 songs, but I didn't do an album reaction because no one really knows about these guys. It's unfortunate, but you gotta check them out. And that goes to Palm Reader, Sleepless. Okay, this album really surprised me because it has consistent flow throughout the entire album. It's very deliberate. It feels like a story going through each song. It's very heavy when it needs to be heavy, but it's a little bit more slower paced than I was expecting, but holy crap, did I vibe with it. Usually I was expecting that I want it to be more heavy and intense like this. But instead I got a lot of tracks that sound like this. This album just totally floored me when I heard it. It has one of the best, if not the best, album closer I've heard all year. Each song is so good, but it needs to be listened to from start to finish. It's not for everyone, but if you're open-minded to try something different, check out Palm Reader Sleepless because it's fantastic. Now, before we get on to number one, here's many honorable mentions. Holy crap, I felt so bad to leave some of these albums out. You know, they all deserve their own spot here, but it was so hard to squeeze them in. But here, you gotta check them out. There's a link in the description for each album.
The Penitent.
Alright, before we get on to my number one, going to do something special here and name off the best album of the year from Metal Bro and Metal Babe. So Metal Bro's album of the year goes to I'm Abomination, Passion the Heist 2. So congratulations, I'm Abomination. Metal Bro absolutely loved your album. I know I put it 8th place, but fantastic record all around. Now let's go on to Metal Babe. Metal Babe's number one album of the year goes to I'm Abomination, Passion of the Heist 2. She loved this album just as much. Holy crap. I know it's my 8th place, but they love this album. It's funny, like Metal Babe is always jamming out to this album all the time. But yeah, you guys gotta check out I'm Abomination because it's sick. Anyway, let's go on to my number one. Okay, my number one album of 2020 goes to an album that just couldn't be topped. I gave it a 10 out of 10, and I hardly ever do that. I can't remember the last time I felt like giving an album 10 out of 10, but there was seriously no flaws with this album. It's genre bending. It pushes the genre that it's in forward. It's so fresh and unique, and I absolutely love it. Oh man, you guys probably know what it is, and it goes to Loathe, I Let It In, and It Took Everything. This album is triumphant for the metalcore scene. You know, for someone who's as critical as I am for metalcore being so saturated and bands not pushing themselves as musicians or pushing what the music can be, here comes Low that really just blows it out of the water. This album is so different, it's so out there. You know, they obviously pull in influences from Deftones, but still they have their own unique sound to it. You know, they got the heavy Meshuggah inspired moments, these Radiohead inspired tracks, you know, balance and composure, indie like songs. Like, it's crazy all the genres that they bring into this album, but it's all consistent. It's so cinematic, so beautiful, so heavy and sad. There's so many emotions that you feel through this album, but it is one of the best metalcore albums I've heard in years. Like, this is triumphant metalcore album, and I'm so impressed with Loathe, and I'm so glad that so many of you guys seem to agree that Loathe, I Let It In, Took Everything is a fantastic record. There's some that might not see the appeal of it. It's a little bit different. You know, music is subjective, but to those who understand it or at least like see the appeal of it, you guys get it. It's such a classic metalcore album. Like, this is Loathe is White Pony. It's that good, man. Anyway, Loathe, congratulations on the win. You guys get a green Birbie present over here. Like, this is high quality stuff. You do not want to miss out on this high quality present because it's high quality. Did I mention that? Yep. Alright guys, that's my top 10 albums of 2020. I'm curious to know what your top 10 albums are, so comment down below, spice up my life. What did you guys think of my list? But also, I'm curious to know what your top 10 is. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. Love you all. But on that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.